So Bhagavad Gita is for people like us who are like Arjuna. We are men of the people of the world. We have to deal with our daily problems. He had, of course, the war, but we have our problems: family, children, work, grandchildren, spouse. Don't talk about that. Don't remind us of that. So problems are there in everybody's life. And our Bhagwan gives Arjuna the best solution throughout this. As we see, the first chapter talks with Arjuna's problem, 2nd to 17th is Bhagwan's teaching, and 18th is the Upasamhara, where he has summarized and very specific examples of 2nd chapter, 3rd chapter, 5th, 7th, 9th will come, and as they come, we'll mention that. So that's how we can study the entire. So somebody said, I don't have time to study 700 shlokas. Can you give me something small? I say, okay, 18th chapter, Lelo. You study that. Not that we should limit ourselves to 18th chapter, but that's how you can get a whole summary of the 18th chapter. And as we said, Arjuna asked for two specific terms, Tyaga and Sannyasa. And Bhagavan said, Tyaga is karma phala Tyaga, giving up the fruit of action. And sannyas is kamyanam karmanam Tyaga, giving up ego and egocentric desire, the idea that I am the doer. And then Bhagavan says that some people believe that all karmas should be given up. Some people are extreme sannyasis. They just go sit in the forest, meditate. But he says, but for us, what should be done? Yajna, dana, tapa, not tyajyam. That is my opinion, and that is also the opinion of wise people. Yajna is activities that are done for the benefit of all. People get together and work. We'll talk more about that today also. Dana, of course, is charity, and Bhagwan in the 17th chapter had talked about 3 different kinds of yajna, 3 different kinds of dana. And tapa. Tapa is self-control, austerity, living a life of moderation. So Bhagwan says, na tyajyam karyameva tat. They should be done. We must do some charity, we must do some self-control, and we must do some yajna. Can also mean community activities, can also mean puja. That every day I should do some prayer, offer my self to Bhagwan, to the Lord. So yajna, dana, tapa. Then Bhagwan talked about 3 types of tyaga, and we had seen that tamasic tyaga is where person gives up his duties out of ignorance. Oh, was I supposed to do it? You assign him some job. Oh, bhul gaya. That is tamasic, where I forgot to do and then everybody else on the last day suddenly has to catch up because this guy forgot. That is tamasic tyaga. Rajasic tyaga is giving up the work because it's too difficult. Are subah subah utke kaun jayega? Why should I go so early in the morning? It's too hard. I want to help, but give me something easy. It's too difficult. So kaya klesha bhayatyaje. Either physically it's too hard for me, or mentally it is too hard. I just don't want to do it. It's too difficult. So that is Rajasic Tyag. You are supposed to do something, but you don't do it because it is hard. And what is Sattvic Tyag? Sattvic Tyag is not giving up work, but giving up attachment and fruit. What do we mean by attachment? That I have been given some job, and somebody says, now this job can be done better by somebody else. You take this other job. You say, no, this is my job. I won't. That is attachment. Whatever job is given to me, whatever work comes, I do it without complaint and without worrying about what am I going to get. So Sangha and Phala, giving up these 2 things is Sattvic Tyag. You are not giving up action, but you are giving up attachment to the action. And what am I going to get? What is the fruit of it? And Karya Mitya, and whatever I am supposed to do, I do it. Nitya, Naimitya, all my activities I do as an agent of the Lord, as surrender to the Lord. So this is in brief a summary of the 9 shlokas that we have covered. I spent a little time. So now today we'll start shloka number 10. So you can please repeat. Chapter 18, shloka number 10. न द्वेष्ट्य कुशलं कर्म कुशलेनानुषज्यते त्यागी सत्त्वसमाविष्टः मेधावी छिन्न संशयः. Together. न द्वेष्ट्य कुशलं कर्म कुशलेनानुषज्यते त्यागी सत्त्वसमाविष्टः मेधावी छिन्न संशयः. So why does Bhagwan give this particular shloka? Because in the 9th shloka, he had already said that a sattvic person should give up attachment, give up fruit, and do what is required. Must do it. Niyatam kriyate, karyam eti. Already he had said in the 9th, but Arjuna looked, Bhagwan, I think that's too difficult. I don't think I can do it. So Bhagwan says, okay, I'll explain it further, because he thought, how can I do action without attachment and without fruit? I have to do it. How can I? So Bhagwan says, okay, this 10th shloka is further explanation of 9th shloka. That's what Gurudev says in his commentary. In fact, I'd like to put a pitch. If anybody doesn't have these books, these 18 chapters, word by word, Bhagwan Sri Krishna has given. And if you don't have, I'll be happy. You can buy them from the office. I can even mail it. Umaji, if you need, I can mail this. There are 18 chapters, because we'll be repeating the Bhagavad Gita again. We have done it one time, but after we finish 18 chapter, we'll start again the first chapter. So this will go on for the next 8 or 10 years. So I hope I'm around till then. If not, somebody will do it. Bhagwan will find someone. So anyway, so we'll do this 18 chapter. If you don't have this book, please get it, because before the class, you can read the shlokas that we are planning to cover, or after the class, you can listen to them, or you can read them in this book. So that way, because I don't cover a lot of the points that Puja Gurudev does give, so that when you read, you get something new. I try to use the other scholars, other authorities, so that we get a variety of teachings. And also, if you have missed any talks, they are on firstpower.info. Most of you know that. So you can go there, and the talks are uploaded by Amit, usually within 2 or 3 days, so you can listen to them again. Anyway, so here, Nadveshtya kushalam karma, kushale na anushajyate, tyagi sattva samavishtaha, medhavi chinna samshaya. Nadveshtya, he does not hate akushalam karma, means disagreeable. This is something I don't enjoy doing. So he doesn't say I hate it. If it comes, even if I don't enjoy it, if it is my duty, I'll do it. That is nadveshti akushalam karma. Even things that he doesn't like, if it comes to him, if he is assigned, he does it without dislike. And how about things that I enjoy doing? Kushale na anushajyate. In things that I enjoy doing, agreeable, he doesn't get attached. He doesn't say, Arey, I love this job. I alone should do it. Nobody else can take it from me. No. If it does not get attached, if I can do it, fine. But if there is somebody who can do it better, let him have it. Let me find what I can do. And so neither likes nor dislikes. He neither gets attached nor hates. And this tyagi, this a person who gives up, this is Sattva samavishtaha. His mind is filled with sattva, with purity, pervaded with purity, and he is medhavi. He is intelligent, and chinna samshaya. He has no doubts about what his duty is. So we'll see that the first thing is, Bhagavan says throughout the Bhagavad Gita, he repeats raga dvesh, give up likes and dislikes. Because in world, we always cannot get things that we enjoy doing. There are some things that are not fun to do, but if they are my duty, I'll do it without dislike, and I'll remain the same. Whatever my duty is, I'll remain balanced. Because what happens is that when we don't do our duty, then we fall from the height of the Bhagavad Gita, from sattva. And if we do things that we like, keep on doing, and keep on avoiding things we dislike, we develop strong desires, strong vasanas, attachments. I want to do this, what I like. So I do that, I get strong vasana, I must do that. And what I dislike, I hate. So I get negative vasanas and I get positive, but they are both vasanas. It's not that one is good or the other. Vasana, where I get attached to a particular job or I develop hatred for something, both are vasanas. So what they say, remain equanimous, remain calm, and be firm in whatever duties come. If you get too much attached to something or a person or an object, you develop desire, and that leads to vasanas. And in life, ups and downs come, but do not let the ups and downs of life disturb you. We have talked about that before. Puja Gurudev gives the example of a log of wood. When there's waves go up, wood goes up, waves go down. So we are like that. Things are going up, I'm happy. Then things are going down, I'm unhappy. I go through this likes and dislikes, joy and sorrow. Oh, this is what I want. So Bhagavan, Puja Gurudev says, be like a lighthouse. A lighthouse remains firm even when there are ups and downs in life. A lighthouse does not get disturbed, remains the same. It's firmly anchored. And that's how one should be, firmly anchored in our knowledge, because the world will give us joys and sorrows, success and failure, things I like, things I don't like. Not only is the lighthouse firmly anchored, but becomes a source of light for others. In the olden days, lighthouse ships used to use the lighthouse to come into the port. So similarly, a wise person is firmly anchored in the knowledge and becomes a light for others. So that's what it says, do that. And people say, in that case, how about if I do nothing? I won't have, then I don't have to worry about things I like, I'll just sit, kuch nahi karunga. Like this boy, 5-year-old told his mother, Mom, today is Saturday, I'm just going to stay in bed all day. I'm not going to go anywhere, I'll just sleep. Mom says, you can't, you'll have to get up, you'll be hungry, you'll have to go get up for breakfast, you'll have to get up to take a shower. So a famous thinker said, when you are doing nothing, you are doing wrong. Even when you're doing nothing, you're doing wrong, because we cannot live without nothing. And we'll talk about nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishthatya karmakrit sharira yatra pichate na prasiddhyeta karmana. In the 3rd chapter, Bhagavan says that even to maintain the body, you have to do, even breathing is an action. You say, I'm sitting here and not doing anything, but sitting is an action, listening is an action. Some of you may be asleep, sleeping is an action. So these are all actions. So the point is that without action, you cannot live. And doing nothing is doing wrong. That's a famous thinker said. And the example, I was thinking about it. You may have heard that there was this girl who was on the street and was ruthlessly assaulted by a man and ultimately killed. And there were people in the windows who could see that happening. and they shut the window and went back inside. They didn't want to get involved. If they had called 911, they would have saved that girl's life, but they said no. And so they can say, I didn't do anything. No, but you are equally guilty. Not doing is wrong. We have to do. Or there was another example in a train in Philadelphia. A woman was raped in a train, and there were so many people, and not one of them spoke up. Can you imagine? So that is as much a sin as the person who has committed. So when there is something that needs to be done, I must do it. That is my duty if I can help somebody. And so just thinking that that's what Arjuna said, I don't want to fight the battle. I want to take sannyas and go to the forest and meditate. Bhagavan says you are not ready for it yet. Sannyas, yes, you can take, and which Arjuna and the Pandavas did. They took sannyas when later on, after they had ruled for many years, when Parikshit was ready, then Yudhishthir and all the Pandavas took, and Bhagavan said, yes, that is the time when you have finished your duties. Some people at young age also, maybe like Raman Maharishi or Shankaracharya, took sannyas when they were less than, just barely teenagers. But majority of us, we have to do our duties and gradually withdraw. And kushalam and kushalam, agreeable and disagreeable, means that sometimes in our life, we may have to do things that are not agreeable. Like there is a boss, and suppose the company is not doing well, right? And so from the CEO, the order comes, in your department, there are, say, 100 employees, you have to lay off 20. Now, that's not a fun job, right? I have to write a letter to 20 people that in 2 weeks, your job will be gone. But the companies, that's necessary. What can I do? He doesn't have a choice. It's not an agreeable duty, but it is part of my duty as a manager or a head of a department. And the CEO that now recently in Google and all the 10,000 people were let go. Obviously, it's not an easy decision for a CEO to do that, but Facebook, so many layoffs were there, Amazon, everywhere. So that is necessary. That is part. When the company is doing well, they hired a lot of people. And then now the companies are not doing well. They have to lay off. So that's part of doing your duty, disagreeable. Or a doctor, he's doing his duty and then he finds out a patient has terminal cancer. And he has to tell her, you only have, I can't give an exact, but, probably a few months to live. And he has to tell her why, because so she can get her affairs in order, organize everything. It's not a fun duty, but these are part of life. So when you can't only say, I only want the good times, where I'm hiring people. No, sometimes you have to do the opposite. So these things will happen. Agreeable and disagreeable will come. And it happens to all of us. I'm just giving a few examples. Even on the spiritual path, there may be things that we don't agree with. Like, say, I believe in Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta, Upanishad, but somebody else said, that is all useless. You should read Ramayana. What you are doing? I am Brahman. This is waste. Read Ramayana or read Bhagavad. You develop bhakti. At least develop some love for Lord. Ye kya hai? Tu baith ke bolta, I am Jati Niti and I am Mano Buddha Ahankar Chitta Nina. No. You are not that Brahman. You are a humble servant of Lord. Yeah, you guys waste your. No. So, theek hai. Everybody is entitled to his opinion. Somebody says, Karma karo. You guys sit in the chair and listen all day. You don't do anything. Go out and serve the homeless, build some. So there are all different paths and everybody has a right to their opinion. Somebody believes in karma, somebody believes in bhakti, somebody believes in jnanam, somebody believes in dhyanam, meditation. So as a wise person, I should not get into arguments and start fighting with people. If somebody asks, what do you do? Yes, I do that. But everybody is entitled to his or her opinion. And if they like it, let them do it. I personally believe that do all four. That is my And a lot of people say that do some karma, do some bhakti, do some reading, and do some meditate, and do it every day. So then you are covering all the bases. Then you are fully covered. Karma bhi kiya, bhakti bhi kiya, gyan bhi kiya, dhyan bhi kiya. Then what else is left? Bhagwan is happy, and I'm happy. I don't know whether he is happy or not, but I'm happy. At least I did my duty. So that is the best. That is my opinion, but whatever people. But the idea is that one should do whatever we can to help others, and ultimately, whatever helps in my spiritual journey, I must do. And that you must do, and that is necessary. And for that, Bhagwan says he's a Medhavi. He has prajna, he has the right knowledge. Having gone to the teacher, he has studied, and his intellect is very clear. What is my goal? What is my purpose? That is prajna, clear understanding, and that is Medhavi. And Chinna Samshaya, he has no doubts. People sit down and say, now, why did God make this world? Why are there so many problems? Why is there suffering? Why doesn't God come and do something? First of all, I'm not sure there is a God. If there is a God, why is he sitting up there? Why is he, look, there is so many problems. And he said, yada yada hi dharmasya. आपके भगवान ने बोला था ना 4th chapter में, अब क्या इतना problem हो रहा है? He's not coming. So we have all these doubts. All these, this person has gone all beyond all doubt. He said, there is no doubt. Whatever Bhagwan is doing good. And if there are problems, he will take care. I just do my best. Whatever I can do, I do. And I don't worry about why there is problem in Middle East and why there is problem in Pakistan and Egypt. And that's Bhagwan's job. Let him do it. It is his world. And he has no doubts about all of this. He says, if it is written in the scriptures, if my guru has said it, I believe it 100%. I never question. And Bhagavad Gita is revealed by Bhagwan himself. So how can I have any doubts? Because Sri Krishna himself came on the earth and revealed this. And this person always abides in his true nature. How is he able to stay without fluctuating in this agreeable and disagreeable? Because he knows I am that supreme Brahman, I am that consciousness. He abides in that nature firmly, and that is who I really am. And this body is meant to perish. My mind will fluctuate, someday happy, someday unhappy. My knowledge may waver, but I don't waver because I am that supreme consciousness. So he has clearly understood that, and that is what he abides in that. So that's why he does not get disturbed when the agreeable and disagreeable come, because he lives in sattva. Now we'll go to shloka number 11, where Bhagwan says, Nahi deha bhrita shakyam tyaktum karmanya sheshatah yastu karma phala tyagi satyagitya nahi deha prita shakyam tyaktum karmanya sheshatah yastu karma phala tyagi satyagitya. So he says, Nahi deha bhrita shakyam. Na means no, that is in all languages. He means indeed. Formally, he says, my clear opinion. What is it? Deha bhrita. Deha bhrita means the embodied one. So us, those of us who have taken up a body, we are called deha bhrita, embodied one. But here, it's more than embodied. It is identification, and we'll talk about that. Nahi deha bhrita shakyam. It is not possible for one embodied one who is identified with the body. Na tyaktum. It is not possible to give up karmani asheshata, karmani activities. Asheshata means completely. So completely to give up all activities is not possible for us who are living in this body. But what can we give up? Yahatu, but yahatu, tu means but yahatu, karma phala tyagi. Karma phala, the fruit of action, is given up. And we'll talk about that. What is the fruit of action? We have talked many times, but as I said, Bhagavan is summarizing. So this is mostly third chapter. Here in these shlokas, Bhagavan is summarizing the third chapter, giving specific points, and then he will do other chapters also. So yahatu karma phala tyagi, one who gives up the fruit of action, satyagi, that is person, iti abhidhiyate, he is said to be a true tyagi. So as we said, deha bhrita is, we are all embodied ones. We all are living in this body. But Bhagavan says one who identifies with the body, that's where Bhagavan has a problem, because Bhagavan himself was embodied also. Bhagavan Shri Krishna was also living in a human body, but he knew that I am that supreme consciousness. And that's what he showed us in the 11th chapter, where the entire universe was in him. So he said, I am that supreme consciousness who has taken birth as the son of Devaki and Vasudev for a particular purpose. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuga yuga. He says, in every yuga I come to establish dharma, protect the good, and punish the evil. And then as the great teachers like Swami Vivekananda and Ramakrishna Paramahansa and Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda and Raman Maharishi, he comes to eliminate wrong ideas and establish the right ideas. That's what Puja Gurudev did, coming down from the Himalayas. Throughout the world, he traveled to spread this knowledge and remove the ignorance, because he could see in 1950 that all this was not available, Bhagavad Gita and translations, Upanishads and the internet, nothing was there. So he traveled from place to place to place, writing books, giving talks, and till 1993, till his last breath, 43 years, he worked to remove ignorance and establish the right knowledge. So that's how Bhagavan manifests, through Guru, and sometimes he himself takes avatar. So he says, for us who are identified with the body, na karmani tyaktum or sheshata, it is difficult to abandon all work. As we said, nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishthatya karmakrit karyate hyavasha karma sarva prakriti jaid gunaihi. He says it is not possible to give up all work because prakriti will make you act. But what I have to give up is the fruit of action. That means, what am I going to get out of it? What is going to be my gain? I and my, and the attachment. And while I am doing the action, I should not worry about what will happen. That's what, at least I have that problem. When I'm working, I'm always thinking about the future. I live so much in the future, planning, and you do what you're supposed to do and let the future, leave it to Bhagwan. I'm trying to work on it, but we all have things that we need to work on. So that is looking for the fruit, planning the future. No, do what you are supposed to do now and let Bhagwan take care of the future. And one of the things is very important. The phala means not what I will get out of it, but what I can give others. So working for others reduces my desire for fruit. That what am I going to get out of it? That is reduced. So doing things for others is one way to reduce attachment and reduce the desire for fruit, phala. What am I going to get? Talking about others, there was this 80-year-old man. And so he asks his wife, honey, what are you doing? So she says, it was evening, nighttime. She says, I'm in the restroom. I'm brushing my teeth. So he says, oh, you are brushing your teeth? Okay, brush my teeth also. because his teeth were in the box. So that is called doing things for others. I brushed my teeth also. So, so doing things for others, why should I do it? Why should I do things for others? He says, for chitta shuddhi. Bhagavan says, chitta shuddhi, your mind gets purified. When I do unselfish actions for others dedicated to Bhagavan without desire, greed, anger, jealousy, hatred, then my mind becomes pure. Mind becomes closer to Bhagavan. So chitta shuddhi means purification of the mind is what is the result of doing unselfish actions. If I do action with anger, greed, jealousy, hatred, then my mind gets poisoned. But if I do with love, compassion, sharing, unselfishly for helping others, then the mind becomes purified. So that's what he says. And the masters say that one should be very selective. I should select what I need to do. So remember, we had talked about niyatam karma and nitya karma, nitya and naimitya. So nitya means daily activities, naimitya means special activities. We had talked about that last week. So those I must do. Nishiddha karma I must avoid. Anything that is forbidden in the Shastras, I must avoid. And kamya karma also I should avoid. That means desire prompted actions. Not that one should not work for oneself, but my main purpose should not be what I desire, but what I give. Even in fact, today also our message for the children is giving more than what we receive. That is part of Pujya Gurudev's pledge, and the children will be talking about that. So be selective and then do actions that are helping in my spiritual journey and doing some amount of distribution. In the olden days, Rajas, the kings, when they used to fight battles and they would conquer 2 or 3 kingdoms, if they were wise, they wouldn't say, oh, I'm conquered, I'm great. They would say, yes, I have done it, but now whatever wealth I have acquired from these conquering these kingdoms, I must do a yajna. And they will do a grand yajna and they will distribute money to the poor and help the downtrodden and share, not put everything in his treasury. Why? Because they knew that keeping more than what I need is going to create negative karmas. So if I have acquired wealth, I must share it with others. And that all the great kings used to, that's how they would live, because they used to have Mahatmas or great scholars in their court who would advise them. This is what the Upanishad says, like Janak Maharaj had Ashtavakra, to advise him. All this Ramchandra ji, Dashrath Maharaj had Vishwamitra and all those. So these great rishis used to advise these kings and they would distribute. In our time, it can be that if a company is very profitable, making a lot of money, or if I am earning a lot, part of it you distribute, you share. And doing community service is that. So by doing this, what happens is from the temporary, I come to the permanent. And that's what Swami Vivekananda said very beautifully, that one who lives his life dedicated to the Lord moves from temporal to eternal, from the temporary to the permanent. So from the changing world, I focus upon the unchanging Lord. And the same message Puja Gurudev gave us throughout. So all these great Mahatmas. So it says that while doing actions, do it without fruit, without result, without worry, and do what you are supposed to do at that time. So that is the shloka number 11. And do not identify with this body, identify with the self. I am the consciousness manifesting in this body. That is what Vivekananda means, Swamiji, that from the temporal to the eternal. This body is temporal. It is temporary, but I am that eternal self. And Bhagavan has told us that from the 2nd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita itself. Now in the 12th shloka, Bhagavan says, what is the result of action? What is phala? Remember he said karma phala tyagi. So now what is the phala? Bhagavan divides into three. See, Bhagavan throughout from 14th chapter, his favorite thing is three. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, throughout. Now here he gives a different three. So we'll talk about that. There are also three, but what is the three in shloka number 12? Anishtam mishtam mishrancha trividham karmana phalam bhavatyata bhavatyaginam pretya natu sanyasinam kvachit Anishtam mishrancha trividham karmana phalam bhavatyaginam pretya natu sanyasinam kvachita. So he says three types of phala, three types of result can come out of action. So when you do action, there can be three types. Anishtam. Ishtam means what I want. Anishta means I did not want the result, but it came. So some things we are successful, some things we are not. Not everything you take up in job, in any work, even you're making vegetables. Sometimes it comes out nice, sometimes it comes out burnt. Sometimes too much salt, sometimes not enough salt. So in life, you always don't get the result you want. So anishtam. So you get what you did not want. Or sometimes you get ishtam. I wanted it and I got it. It turned out perfect. This job I did came out so good. And another time, oh, I should have done better. I didn't do a good enough job. So anishtam, mishtam. And then sometimes mishram. Mishram means little good and little bad. It's not perfect, but it's not even that bad. So she had three kinds of result. One you didn't want, one you wanted, another one is mixed. Mishram cha trividham, three types of phalam is there of karmana, of every action. Of every action, there can be three kinds of result. But whom does it affect? Whom does it affect? So bhavati, it affects atyaginam, one who has not abandoned, not given up, not surrendered. He gets these three kinds of results. Natu sannyasi nam kvachit, but one who has not identified, he has no sense of doership, then it doesn't affect him. Ishtam, anishtam, mishram, anedo, he is not affected. So we'll talk about how is it possible to do that? How can I escape these? So they say very beautifully that you cannot escape. In life, results will come. And they will not always be what you want. Sometimes you want, sometimes you don't want, and sometimes mixed. And the results will be based on your actions. So if you have done good actions, then generally the results will be good. And the result of that will be good. If I have done good actions in this life, my life in this is bound to be good. And even if it is not, but every karma carries over. So we should not forget that every good karma gets rewarded and every bad karma gets punished. And not only this life, then also if I have done good, my life will be peaceful, my life will be calm. If I haven't cheated others, I have nothing to worry about. But if I have lied, cheated, hurt others, then sooner or later I'll be caught, will be found out. So in this life, my life will be better if I do good. And if I don't do good, it won't be good. But not only that, it carries over. All these karmas, because they affect the subtle body, so it carries over birth after birth after birth, and it gets carried over each karma. So the point is that Anishtam, Mishtam, Mishram, it can be of this life, or it can be even of future life. So if I have done very good deeds, Gurudev in his commentary said, I'll be born in, I'll go to higher locus, go to a beautiful locus and live up there. Or if I have done bad, then I'll go to lower worlds and suffer the consequences. And if I have done mixed, then I'll be born on earth again. So the fact that we are born on earth, that means we have done mixed karmas, mishram in our past life. If we had done good karmas, we would be living in heaven. If we had done bad karmas, we would be in hell. So earth is a place where you have an opportunity either to evolve or to devolve. I can do better and go to heaven, not only go to heaven, but progress spiritually where I become one with God, identify with God, become one with God, grow towards God, or I can grow towards the hell, doing the wrong actions. Only humans have that ability. An animal doesn't have, and a lion doesn't incur any sin if he kills a deer and eats him. That's his nature. But humans have the ability, only humans have the ability to choose. That's why they say, Urdhvam gachanti sattvastaha madhye tishtanti madhav rajasaha adho gachanti tamasaha. Bhagwan in 14th chapter says, people who do sattvic deeds go upwards, not only in this life, but in subsequent lives. Those who do tamasic go downwards, rajasic remain in the middle. And not only in this life, people say, oh, my life is really good, really bad. But think about how much better life would be if why did Bhagwan make 14 worlds, 7 above? That means each one, they say, has thousands of times, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times better life, and then you continue your journey. And if you have not exhausted your vasanas, your next life is beautiful because you are born in the house of yogis if you have not finished your journey, and you can continue your journey. How much better must be? And if he has made 6 worlds below, how much worse each one must be? It's like there's economy class and business class, right? In the airline. Now you pay 2,000 or 3,000 more for business class. That means they have to give you enough worth that you will, nice seats, better food, better service, first boarding. Same way, first getting off the plane. Same way, it's the fact that there are other worlds means that you have an opportunity to improve, enjoy the other worlds if you want to, or otherwise, you say, I'm not interested in heaven. I just want to continue my journey. Bhagwan, send me back quickly, back to earth, because it's only in earth that we can achieve enlightenment. Even in heaven, you cannot do that. Even Indra had to go and stay with his guru for 99 years to get enlightenment. So you and I, we have to put that. And it's said that drishta phalam and adrishta phalam. Drishta phalam is what I see. I do something good, I get good result. I do something bad, bad result. Adrishta phalam is what is in our subtle body and what gets carried to next lives. And people who are wise see that this world is not going to give me permanent joy. That's why Mundak Upanishad starts with that beautiful shloka. In the first few shlokas, it says, Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmana nirveda maya naste akrit kritena tad vijnartham guru mevabhi gachet samit pani shrotriyam brahmanishtham. So he says, Pariksha Lokan, he has seen this world and realizes, hey, isme kuch rakha nahi hai. Nothing is going to give me permanent joy. Yes, there will be some temporary joy, but if I want permanent joy, I have to seek something else. And what he has seen, Karma Chitan, he has done all the karmas, he has enjoyed life, he has seen, isme kuch rakha nahi hai. It's not going to give me permanent joy. Na akrita kritena, by actions, I will not get the actionless Bhagwan, actionless self. Akrita kritena, by karmas, I will not going to get. So he knows that karmas will not give me. Yes, karmas will give me joy, will give me peace, maybe give me some chitta shuddhi. But if I want that permanent, I have to go to a guru, sit down at the feet of the guru, serve the guru, and then learn from the teacher. And that's what all our scriptures are: Guru, Shishya, Parampara. From Guru to Shishya, then the Shishya becomes Guru and then teaches others and so on. So uh, he approaches a Guru with humility. And how should the Guru be? Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. He should have the knowledge. That way, even Sanskrit professors in college have the knowledge. They can translate the Upanishads, they can teach very well. But Brahmanistha, he should be established in the truth. So that kind of guru we should find, who is Shrotriyam, who knows the knowledge, and then himself abides in that knowledge. That is how the teacher should be, and that is how the student should be, with that attitude. And he says, Samit Pani, in the olden days, they used to go with wood in the hand, dry wood, because it used to be very cold in the Himalayas. And where the gurus always lived in some remote place in the mountains or in the forest where it was very cold. So they would take dry wood. The idea being that I can help the teacher, he can light the wood and fire for warmth. Also, dry wood means I am ready. And just one spark of just as dry wood, one spark can burn the whole wood. So, Guru, your one spark of knowledge will burn my vasanas, will burn my ignorance. So that is called Samit Pani. They used to go with that attitude. Bhagwan, I don't know anything. Oh Guru, I am ignorant. I have prostrated to you. I bow down to you. And you teach me so that my ignorance may be burnt. And that was the attitude. And same thing we see in Nachiketa. Nachiketa was another beautiful example in Kathopanishad, where he goes to the teacher Yamraj and he says, I want that highest knowledge. And Yamraj sees this 5-year-old boy, he says, you are not ready for this. I'll tell you what, you are here, and there's a whole story. I'll give you whatever you want. You want live a long life, you will live a long, healthy life. You'll have healthy children, grandchildren. You'll have all the palaces you want, all the elephants, all the dancing girls, and all the money, and healthy, long life you will live. So Nachiketa said, okay. He said, but tell me one thing, will I live forever? He said, no, you won't live forever. Ultimately, you have to give up this body. Will this wealth stay with me forever? No, ultimately, when you leave the body, you have to leave the palaces and the elephants and the joys. He says, then keep all of it. Keep your elephants, keep your dancing girls, keep your palace. I don't want any of those. You can have them. He said, what do you want? He said, I want that knowledge which only you can give. So that should be the determination of a student. Nachiketa is the prime example. He says, I don't want anything in this world. I want that knowledge, and Yamaraj, only you can give it. So with that kind of determination, when you go to a guru, then Yamaraj gets compelled. He says, okay, then I'll sit down and I'll teach you. And he teaches him all how to do yajnas, how to do sacrifices, how to the highest knowledge. In fact, Bhagavan Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, maximum he quotes from Kathopanishad. He has taken shlokas from, because Kathopanishad is the one that very closely matches Bhagavad Gita, even though Bhagavan has ideas from all the Upanishads, but Kathopanishad is the one that closely matches. So in this life, you can be either Karta, Karanam, or none of those. So the lowest is a Karta. I am the doer. I did it. You know how much I do? Tujhe pata nahi hai how much I have done. I have done so much for this person, so much for that, so much for you. They keep on showing what I have done. I. That ego, it becomes very strong. The second level, so then when I become the Karta, I also become the Bhokta. When I do, then I get the result. I get the result of what I do. I don't get the result of what I did not do, all that. So Karta becomes Bhokta, enjoyer, sufferer. Bhokta means enjoyer and sufferer. If I do good, but then little step higher than that is become a Karanam, become an instrument of the Lord. If Bhagwan is working through me, Bhagwan, you keep on doing it. All the credit goes to you. Whatever I have accomplished, I do nothing. Just as a knife doesn't have a choice, right? A knife doesn't say, I'll only cut tomatoes and I won't cut cucumbers. No, the lady who is operating the knife listens to that. And she says, cut tomatoes, cut cucumber, cut. That knife has no choice. Same way, when I become an instrument of the Lord, then I don't have a choice. It's not my choice. Bhagwan will decide what to do with me, where to do it, and that is Bhagwan. I am an humble instrument. That's why in the 11th chapter, Bhagwan tells, Mayye nihata purvameva nimitta matram bhava savya sachin. Oh, Arjuna, you are ambidextrous. You could shoot with right hand and left hand. He could equally, but you are a great warrior. Be my instrument. I have already killed all these warriors that you see. In the next 18 days, they will be gone. Bhishma will be gone, Drona will be gone, Karna. If you don't do it, I'll find somebody else to do it, because I have already decided who is time has come. Whatever prarabdha they came with, even though Bhishma had Ichha Mrityu, even though Karna and Drona were the greatest warriors of that time, so they are not going to survive. And the 18 Akshaunis of the Kauravas, even though they have a bigger army, they are going to lose. So the choice is, you want to be the winner, or I'll find somebody else. So from Karta, you become Karna. From doer, you become the instrument. Then higher than that is Nakinchit Karomi iti Tattvavid. That's what in the 5th chapter Bhagavan is quoting, that I am not doing anything. Pashyan, Shrinvan, Jigran, Sprishan. What is that? Guna guneshu vartante iti matvana shad sajjate. He says, na kinchit karomi. I am not doing anything. I am the actionless self. In my presence, the nose is smelling, the mouth is eating, the hands are working, legs are working. I am. So that is the 3rd stage. From doer, you become an instrument. From instrument, you say, I do nothing, because I am that actionless self. In my presence, all these activities. So that's how you evolve your thinking from and not everybody does that. Recently, I heard a very beautiful example. I would request everybody to write this down or firmly memorize it. He says, life is like a pyramid. There's a pyramid. Now the pyramid is bigger in the bottom, in the top is one, right? It merges. So they say the bottom is many, then there is few, then there is blessed, and then there is the sacred. So majority of people are in the bottom, many, they say, okay, cow pure, life is meant for that. Then there are very few who sit down and want to study the scriptures, who approach the guru. There are very few, right? Out of millions and billions, how many people are there? They might go to church or temple, but who seriously want to study this knowledge, learn from a teacher, like somebody like Puja Gurudev, listen to the commentaries. Very few. So very few will learn. Then out of the few, some are blessed. They are blessed, means they are serious students. They are blessed means not that Bhagwan blesses them. They take this knowledge seriously. Don't just do it as a pastime. Okay, Sunliya, I heard it on Sunday morning. No, throughout the week, they are seriously studying. They are applying it in their life. They are evolving spiritually. They are growing. So those are blessed. So that is number 3. And the 4th one in the top is the sacred. Those are like Puja Gurudev, Swami Vivekananda, Shankaracharya, Jesus, Buddha. So in life, we have a choice. Do I want to be the many? Do I want to be the few? Do I want to be the blessed who takes life seriously, who takes this teaching seriously, applies them, not only just in 1 year and out the other year or so, no. And then very rare is the one who can evolve. That's why Bhagavan says, out of thousands of people in this world, one person wants to learn. Out of thousands of people, one wants to learn. Out of thousands that want to learn, only one reaches me. So that is not to discourage, but the idea is that this knowledge should be taken seriously. I don't want to be the many. I don't want to be the few. I want to be the blessed. And then ultimately, I want to be that sacred one. If Shankaracharya ji can do it, I can do it. If Puja Gurudev could do it, I can do it. So the idea is that slowly go up in the pyramid. Don't just stay in the bottom. That's the whole idea. This is when I heard this, I said, wow, this is the summary of the entire spiritual language. And from the bottom of the pyramid, go up, ultimately the top. And it doesn't matter which path, doesn't matter which religion, doesn't matter which book, doesn't matter which guru. The idea is to go to the top. So from the many to the few, from the few to the blessed, and from the blessed to the sacred. So I'll end here with this very, very beautiful words. I was so shaken, and I thought I'll share that. And please keep that in the mind and practice it. So we'll end here. I was able to do 3 shlokas, didn't do 4, but that's good. Some days we do 3, some days we do 4. So here Bhagwan is telling us that karmas we have to do it without likes and dislikes, and do it as a duty without worrying about the fruit. What am I going to get out of it without getting attached? And in life, you will get different kinds of results, but one who gives up doership, then for him, there is no result. He said, I didn't do anything. So the result goes to this body, mind, intellect. It is not me. So that is how we evolve. So we have about 8 or 9 minutes. If any comments, questions, anybody has. I can put it on gallery view so we can see everybody. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Kerry.
Well, I was thinking that about how a lot of people who are atheists, one of the first things they'll say is that, they'll point out someone who has led a very good life. They've tried their best in every situation to do what's right.
Yes.
And then they just seem to have just a terrible life happens to them. All the fruit is bad. You've probably heard the story of a man named Job in the Christian Bible, well, the Jewish Bible, and he was like that. A very good man and wealthy. Then all of a sudden, he starts getting boils, and he's sick. He loses all of his wealth. His children die, but still, he's able to just keep his concentrated, pointed love for the Lord. But
Yes.
it's hard.
Oh, that's true. That Guruji, Swami Tejomayananda ji has written a very tiny little book called Why Do Good Men Suffer? It's available in the library or or you can order it online. But that answers this question. And it's basically because this life is not alone. This is not our first life. We have had many lives before, and hopefully this will be our last, or at least we will progress toward. So whatever is happening to me is not only of this life, but of multiple lives. That's why sometimes a 6-month-old child gets leukemia. Now they'll say, what has the 6-month-old child done to get leukemia and all chemotherapy and may even die from it, or may it survive, but with all this problem. So there are many lives we have lived. Bahunam janmanam ante gyanvan man prapadyate. Bhagavan says, after many lives, we come to this, where we have this opportunity to study. So, but if a person is doing good deeds, I was going to talk about that, but that will be in the next class. You are undoing the results of past karmas. So by doing good deeds, even though some of the karmas will come, all the karmas will come, but if you have done enough good deeds, the results will not be that bad. Or your mind will be so calm that I'm with Bhagwan that it's okay, let it happen. So he develops peaceful of mind. So it's all Or the third factor is that it is an opportunity for me to grow spiritually. So this sorrow has come for me to evolve, for me to remember God. Some people turn away from God with sorrow. Some people turn towards God. So this is Eckhart Tolle calls it an alarm clock, that it is to wake me up. So everything that is happening is either to wake me up or keep me awake. If you remember that one line, that whatever is happening in this life is either to wake me up or keep me awake, then you will welcome even sorrows. But thank you. That's a good question.
I like that. Wake me up, or yeah.
Yeah, wake me. Indu ji, you have a question or comment? हिंदी में आप बोल सकते हैं।
जी हाँ, मुझे आपका पिरामिड वाला जो एग्जाम्पल था वो बहुत ही सुंदर लगा,
पिरामिड
और सच था। और जो आपने अपने पॉइंट रखे कि कर्म भी करो, भक्ति भी करो, और ज्ञान भी लो और पढ़ो भी, वो भी बिल्कुल सही था, क्योंकि उससे बहुत ज्यादा ज्ञान प्राप्त होता है। और एक आपकी बात और अच्छी लगी, जो आपने बताया कि बिना किसी अहंकार के और बिना किसी जेलसी के अगर आप दूसरे के लिए करते हो तो आपका चित्त शुद्ध होता है।
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll just translate in English. I think most of you understand Hindi and you could hear it on the mic, but basically Induji said that she liked the example of the pyramid, how to evolve and how one should do all four, karma, bhakti, gyan and dhyan, and how by doing things for others unselfishly, it leads to chitta shuddhi, purification of mind. So thank you, Induji. Dhanyavad. Any other questions, comments? We have about 3-4 minutes. Lata, you're back. Nice to see you. No comment today?
I am back because I haven't studied up, that's why. But I will never look at the pyramid the same way anymore.
Yes.
They were for the burial of the kings.
Right.
But what you deciphered today for us, oh my goodness, I am really, that's perfect. That is a very profound way of looking at it.
I was shaken up when I heard it. I said, this I have to share with others. It's very nice.
Thank you.
Any other comments, Satish Bhai?
Well, of course, there are so many profound things all over Bhagavad Gita, but the one thing that he keeps driving back and forth many times is the removal of raga and dvesha,
right,
and likes and dislikes. If we look at it fundamentally, that is the cause of our downfall. Those two things.
Right.
If we get out of that, I think we are good.
Right. Thank you.
I do appreciate that keeping awake or
right,
or wake me up.
Wake me up. Yes.
Very profound.
Thank you. I'll just translate for the Zoom. As Satish Bhai said that raga and dvesha, likes and dislikes, one should overcome. And everything that is happening is either to wake me up or keep me awake. So there is nothing happening is bad. Uski dunya mein everything is perfect. Whatever happens, let me take it as an opportunity to wake up. Thank you very much. Ansa, anything you have? We have 1 minute short if you have any time, any comments.
I think the perfect example of living is the yagna of nature.
Right.
We see the sun shining all the time. Doesn't ask for thanks. Doesn't decide where he wants to fall or give light of eternity.
Very nice. Yes.
And that falls on the sea, and the sea evaporates because of its nature of giving away the water by a certain temperature. And that thing goes up in the air, and the wind's nature is to blow, so it blows this water away from there, and also wherever it is, it can be in a gutter or it can be land, right, or it could be in a mountain. It doesn't discriminate anything.
Yes.
If you live like that, and then of course the earth produces the food for us, which we eat from there, and there we are producing, we are here.
Yes.
So, and when we die, we become manure to those things too. Right. So if you look at that part, that means everybody does what is inherent in them.
Right.
It's not sun doesn't trying to say, oh, I'm sending the water there.
Right.
Because sun doesn't really do this. So
Thank
we
you.
all live with what personality is given to us, and contribute wherever we can without thinking of the result or the person you are, then you are free of
Life
desire,
becomes
desire,
yagna.
you're free of likes
Yeah.
and dislikes.
Thank you. I'll translate for the Zoom people. Hansaji has said very beautifully that whole life is a yagna. You see the sun shining and creates water, and then the rain, and then the water falls on the ground. The ground grows food for us, and we get the food. And then, so the whole nature is doing yagna, is working for us. So our life should be like the sun doesn't ask, what am I going to get in return? So that's how that is called yagna spirit, and that is called living without likes and dislikes. Thank you very much for all your comments. Thank you for coming. We'll end today and we'll do the closing prayer. We do have a half an hour of meditation. Some of you are coming. If you would like to come from 10:20 to 10:50 every morning, people can attend on Zoom also. We do meditation on Zoom, so that helps the mind, at least for me, helps the mind to become quiet for this knowledge. So we'll end here. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you. Don't forget to clean my teeth. I like that joke. It was very beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Shanti Om.
Meditation part, is it recorded?
No, meditation we are not recording because there are a lot of silence.
Right.
But I have guided meditation on first power, old ones.
Okay, because, I have language class at 10 o'clock, so some days I may not be able.
Yeah, but he said that recording is not helpful because there are a lot of silent moments. So whenever you can alternate with Girish Bhai.
Right. And then, but if you have it on there, then I can. Horsepower.
First power mein nahi hota. You want to start putting, he said it's hard to put half an hour.
No, but the
Old ones I have. Oh yeah, I have all of these I have done. May not be that
same ones, but.
same ones, but
Yeah,
most of there are lot of them on breath, on Om.
Okay.
There are there.
Okay.
You can practice.
Yeah, I can.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hello, Madi. How are you? How are you?